Hi, everybody, and welcome to this talk show of Eurovision Norway. Actually, the first official Eurovision Norway Night talk show, episode one. I'm Johan Patrick from Eurovision Norway, and with me for now, I have Robin, I have Yin Katrine Fossli, I have Mats, and I have Helene. So, first of all, Robin, how are you doing? Are you excited for this year's Melodi Grand Prix?
Yeah, I'm actually pretty good. I've been waiting for MGP for a long time now, especially abroad. You can just wait for the music. Pretty excited. Excited to see how it unfolds. So yeah, listening to the songs already, and they're pretty good.
I totally agree with you, and we will come back to the fact that you are Norwegian, but you live abroad, so you have kind of the sense of how the feelings are out in Europe. But we will come back to that later.
Absolutely.
Mats, how are you feeling today?
Oh man, I'm stoked. This is so exciting. I've been waiting a whole year for MGP to be back. And now Christmas is over, and now the real party has started. So I'm excited.
Yin, have you gotten any favorites for this year's MGP so far? You don't have to say which one, but do you have any favorites?
Oh, it's definitely Heartbreak. I can tell you straight away it's Heartbreak. Farida, she's got this little extra touch. She's so original, and also this it's in the first final, the woman
Show?
song. Yeah, it's also great. So those two.
Great, amazing. Helene, are you excited for the semifinal coming this Saturday?
Definitely. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm so excited to see all the new artists. And yeah, I can't wait.
I couldn't have agreed more with you. It's gonna be amazing. But of course, we are not going to do this talk show alone. And for you Norwegian people watching, yes, this is an international stream, so we are talking English because we have some international guests. And I think we have also some artists backstage who are coming in just like 2 minutes. But first, I want to introduce our international guests, big Eurovision fans and big MGP fans. So first of all, let's say welcome to Rosie Susanna. How are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, I'm doing all right. Thank you.
So just for a quick one for everybody, who are Rosie, where's she from, and why are you so excited about MGP?
Okay, so, well, yeah, I'm Rosie. I'm from the UK, but I've also lived in Canada and I speak Norwegian. So, yeah, very international in that sense. And, well, I started watching MGP because I wanted to practice my Norwegian. So, yeah, it kind of started there. I just want to like hear Norwegian and all of that. And, yeah, now I go to the grand final of MGP every year with my friends. So, yeah.
That's amazing. And one quick question: do you have any all-time favorite from MGP?
All-time favorite?
Yeah.
So from every single year, that is really hard. I'm gonna come with an oldie. Intet annet under solen by Åse Kleveland.
Oi.
Yeah.
Okay. Not too many people actually choosing this song normally, but I love the fact that you choose a Norwegian song as well. So absolutely fantastic. And it's time for the next international guest as well. We're just gonna go on and say welcome to Ben.
Tusen tack allesammans. Ben Robertson here. Very nice to speak to you all.
Amazing. So Ben, you can do the same as Rosie. Introduce yourself and why you're so excited about MGP. And you can also say one all-time favorite for MGP.
I'm Ben Robertson. I do work as a Eurovision journalist for ESC Insight. I've been to MGP in person, covering the contest before. It's always a really good national final to set the standard for the season. There's not so much that happens in January. A lot of the other countries are February, March, right close to the deadline. But Norway, for me, yes, you have Albania and Czechia that have been earlier, but Norway starts off with MGP the first Saturday night running all the way through. So that's very, very exciting. What I would say, if you want to ask for a favorite, I'm not going to give you a song. I'm going to give you a year. The 2015 edition of MGP, when you had the live orchestra, that production there is stellar and one of the all-time great national finals.
That's actually really true. The fact that you had a live orchestra there in Oslo Spectrum was phenomenal. It was amazing. So I think at least I'm ready to say hello to some of the artists competing in the semifinal one. Do you guys agree? Just give me a thumbs up if you agree with me. Sounds like everybody's agreeing. So let's say hello to the first artist. We could almost say he's international as well because he lived many, many years in Los Angeles in the United States of America. But originally he's from Bergen in Norway, and he has been on the stage or worked together with people like Justin Bieber, Michael Jackson. But now he's back in Norway to compete in MGP. It's Fredrik Halland who is competing with the song Stranded. Fredrik, welcome to us.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm excellent.
Yeah? Excellent. Couldn't be better.
No.
So, have you had any rehearsals? I assume you have had your rehearsals the last few days, or?
Yes. Yesterday was a quick one, just kind of getting used to being on stage, and no cameras or anything. But today it was like a full-on production with cameras, finding all like the choreography. I will be playing piano, so I will be sitting down, but just a lot of movements, like knowing where to look and getting the right mix in the ears. So yeah, it went really well today, and it was so awesome to see the performance for the first time. The lighting and everything, it was so spectacular. So I'm really excited.
It's great to hear. We have some people as well watching. We have a lot of people watching actually, and we have some people who are commenting here on Facebook. Ole Halvor Lindtveit Bergan is saying that's very fun. I agree. This show is very fun. MGP is very fun. The talk show is very fun. The people here are very fun. So I think everything is very fun actually. And then we have Marai, go Rosie. We have a personal fan of Rosie here. That's awesome. It's always good to have personal fans, isn't it, Rosie? Yeah, she nodded. Yeah, I think she agreed. But Fredrik, you have lived many years in Los Angeles, and you are, we could say you are really known for your guitar playing. But as you say, this year you are playing piano. Mm-hmm. Why?
Well, I mean, that's a good question. I mean, I've been playing a lot of instruments since I was, 7 years old. I actually started playing the drums. And, but again, what caught my interest the most was the guitar. When I was 7, 8, 9, I was really just diving into to like guitar playing and blues guitar, shredding, all that kind of stuff. So it's been a long journey, but I was 18 years old and I started touring with this artist called Colby Calais. She's a really big artist in the US. And I started playing acoustic guitar and singing backgrounds with her. I would perform some duets and would play big arenas all over the States. And I think that was my transition into becoming more of an artist and a songwriter and a singer as well. And then it's just really been a long journey throughout my 20s, honing my craft as a singer as well. And I think finally this moment, now when I moved back to Norway, I had this song that I really wanted to put out. It's really special to me. It has a strong message. It comes from a very honest place. And I really wanted to put this out. And I was just so excited when they wanted to have this song in MGP. So yeah, that's really the story behind it. And of course, for this song, I actually have a version where I had guitar on it, but I just felt like piano was the right move for this song. So,
and from what I've heard of this song, I think you made a perfect choice of choosing the piano. I'm pretty sure. We will come back to you as well with more questions. I assume some of the other people in the show here also want to ask you some questions. But we have some more artists as well backstage. They are actually a group of 3, but one of them couldn't join tonight. But it doesn't matter because we have gotten the 2 others in the group. And I'm pretty sure they are going to make a show for us. I'm pretty sure they're going to make a woman show for us, actually, because it's Chris Archer and Slam Dunk. Welcome.
Hey! Good to be here.
It's really nice to have you here. So the quick question to you as well is, how are you doing? How have the rehearsals gone?
Oh, it's been a stressful week, exciting week. The rehearsals has been great. Same as Fredrik, we started yesterday with testing the in-ears, mixing, and try the stage today
I
with
feel
the
like
cameras.
yeah, the other day we had the first like rehearsal after Christmas, and so it's been like 6 weeks since we did the show last time. So it was quite it was so stressful, and the big stage and all of the people from NRK running around. But today, I at least, and I think all of us, Chris and Matilda as well, felt a lot more confident. Like, okay, we got this. Although I started off by hitting myself with a microphone. That was like the first thing I did today. So shit happened.
A good start. So you can assure us that hitting your lip with a microphone is not part of the show.
No, but there's an element that sort of kicks off the show that makes it likely to hit yourself with a microphone. So that's going to be exciting, I think.
Amazing. So I think I want to ask. I want to hear what the other people here as well think about the song. So who should we pick first? Robin, what do you think about let's say Woman Show and Stranded? What do you think about it?
I think it's 2 very different songs. I like both of them. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not too big on russemusikk, but it's still party. It's still party. It makes everyone dance. It makes everyone have fun, and it's the shit. Sorry, the language, but it's the shit. I assume Fredrik's song is a ballad. It's probably my favorite genre. When it goes like quiet, I love it.
So just to make sure also, he didn't say the song was shit. He said the song was the shit. So just so Chris and Slamdunk don't like just go, oh, he said the song was shit. That's not what he said. It's the shit. So Yin, do you prefer party music or do you prefer ballads?
I'm one for party music. But I can definitely tell a story. Like they met, they had this great party, a great time, and then they kind of broke up, and he got stranded. But I've got to ask you about the staging. Can you say something, because the song is already over the top, like the Woman Show. So how do you like balance that in the staging of the song? It's cool. It's definitely cool, and it's like this great party hit. But it's
what can you say, Petter?
So we are very aware of that, and we had a lot of ideas for how the stage show could be, and a lot of that had to be scratched because we wanted to add elements that sort of match the energy and vibe of the song, but also keep it clean and not messy. So I think, and we're working with Mona Berntsen, who has been worked with Justin Bieber and a lot of big talent, and she's just amazing with regards to helping us with the show and giving us feedback when we have ideas. So I think we've been able to balance it. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, because I can imagine that's where the part where you hit yourself with a microphone, that it's kind of messy and like this.
And we also discussed it earlier. We haven't seen this type of show on the MGP stage for many, many years. Actually.
Exciting. We have a lot of people who are asking questions here. This one is for you, Fredrik. Thomas Heinonen says, "Hi, Fredrik. Quick question. For me, your vocals remind me a lot of Benjamin Ingrosso. Do you hear that yourself? Your song is nice, though. So, do you hear that yourself, Fredrik, or?"
I'll be honest, I haven't listened so much to him. I know very well who he is. I've seen him on Instagram and TikTok and stuff, but I can't quite hear his voice in my head. But I know he's a really big artist and he has a lot of fans, so I take it as a big compliment. So yeah.
Amazing. And as we said, your song is a little bit, of course, it's a ballet, so it isn't going to be that much part on the stage as the guys right next to you. But can you say something about the staging for your song?
Yeah, well, who knows? Maybe I'll be dancing on the piano. I mean, it could turn into something huge, right?
Okay.
It's obviously for this song, it's about the message and the performance and the whole vibe. So yes, it will not be as it won't have that same impact as far as the energy of the performance, but I feel like the energy is still going to come through in the way that I sing it and perform it. So yeah,
We also got one comment here. I'm going to take it and just explain what I think about it. Thomas Hannon again. Why are you having several artists on at the same time? That's not good promo when you get artists fight for the spots. Of course, we don't want any fighting here on the scene, so please don't fight each other. But that's going to roll over into my next question. Because it's a well-known fact that a lot of the artists at MGP, they get along really well and actually become good friends. Do you agree that that's the case in MGP? Fredrik, if you want to answer first.
Yeah, I would say so very much, because I don't feel like, even though it is a competition, I don't feel like it is, because we're all so different. And it's not like I'm competing against another person playing piano and singing, and not that would be, I would still make friends with that person, but we're so different. And I feel like it's kind of like a basketball player competing against a soccer player competing against a baseball player. Like, we're all like just in kind of different worlds, and it just all depends on what people like and what they want to, what's their jam, I mean, we all have different tastes, and that's why it's so good. It's so eclectic, and it brings a lot of people together in different genres. So yeah, I don't see it that way at all. So it's just all, it's family vibe,
Chris, do you agree?
Yes, I agree with Fredrik, and also this has been, as I said,
that was just Siri on my phone who wanted to join us.
This has been a very stressful and busy week with a very tight schedule from NRK. So we haven't been able to catch up with the other artists.
That's why we all have to get to the final, so we can spend more time together.
So we can hang out.
Just
of course.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, we actually haven't really crossed paths that much so far. There's like two other artists that I've kind of been seeing, like they've been on right before me and then right after, and then kind of right next to the dressing room. But yeah, we haven't spent so much time together at this point.
So what if we just send all 6 acts from every semifinal to the final, and then you will get along?
That would be perfect.
Yeah. We have we have a lot of people who says everything from that they're excited for this year and who they think is gonna win. But let's ask Ben. What do you think about the song Stranded? This year's ballad represents.
I think with Stranded, you've got something that's going to rely on the performance and it's going to rely on the emotional storytelling of the song to connect with the viewers, which is a typical ballad thing. What's interesting here, if you look at the production of that song, is you do have quite a lot of space in the production for the artist to shine. So I'm really happy hearing Fredrik's going to be on the piano. I think that'll help the storytelling. And further than that, I think, those little bits about connecting to the camera. There's a similarity with another song, actually, from Eurovision, John Lillygreen's song for Cyprus in 2010, where it's going to be the connection down the camera that's got to make it a success or not, so to speak, when it comes to Saturday night.
Yeah, I agree.
Is this... Yeah, because is this something you've done on purpose, Fredrik, with the space and everything? So is this...
Yes. I could have gone way overboard with the production if I wanted to. If I wanted to make this like the biggest pop production ever. And I actually had to have a lot of restraint producing this song because I did everything myself as far as the production and the mixing. And I always felt like, no, I need to scale it back. I need to scale it back because, again, I don't want the production to be in the front seat. I want the lyrics and the message. And I feel like that is going to be having the production that way would be a great vehicle for me to express the song and the message.
Sounds great. And Rosie, what do you think about the Woman Show? They have said that this song is a song for the introverts, even though the song almost sounds like it should be on the dance floor with a lot of people, but it's actually for people to dance in front of the mirror. Do you dance in front of the mirror with this song, Rosie?
Oh, I constantly get Woman Show stuck in my head. So there's always kind of a party going on in my head. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm a very good dancer, but I do dance in front of the mirror, admittedly. So yeah, very much so.
So do you also, Slam Dunk and Chris, do you dance in front of the mirror for this song as well?
Yeah, I dance to it everywhere, and I find myself singing the lyrics like on the street randomly, and I'm like, okay, no, don't do this, and I go back and do it in the mirror.
And Chris, what about you?
Every morning.
Every morning in front of the mirror you are dancing.
Yes.
Great. But someone said to me earlier that at least you, Chris, and you, Slam Dunk, you needed to rest and have a long night of sleep before maybe one of the last rehearsals tomorrow. Is that correct, or?
Yeah. So we have tomorrow is a couple more camera rehearsals on stage, and then I think we have one last on Saturday just before the show, the Generalprøve. I'm not sure what that is in English, but yeah. So we're getting close. We're getting very close, and yeah, we need some time to relax. It's been a lot.
And you, Fredrik, I'm guessing you have rehearsals tomorrow as well then, since these guys have it?
Yes, that's correct. So yeah, a good night's sleep is very important. It keeps the voice, keep the voice well rested. It's important.
Amazing. So I just want to thank you guys for joining us for this show, and we are gonna let you guys sleep now and get a good night of sleep before the last rehearsals. So thanks a lot for joining us, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for
so
having
much.
us. See you tomorrow,
Bye.
Fredrik.
All right. So yes, see you.
See ya.
Bye.
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 And there you saw Fredrik on the end that took the Bergensk Snagas. So some Norwegian in there. But we have gotten a new guest backstage. Should we take him in right away? Yeah, people are nodding here, so I think we should do it. When he came out on the artist reveal, there was a lot of smoke around him. The problem was he couldn't stop the smoke because the smoke machine was defect. So for people watching the artist reveal online, They just saw a lot of smoke, but they didn't see the man himself. It was Goth Minister. Welcome.
Boo! Hello, guys.
How are you doing?
I'm fine. We just had some great stage rehearsals at the public broadcasters stage today, and yeah, like I just listened a little bit before I came in here, and I agree that it's been a very hectic week.
Of course, I understand it because it's a lot of rehearsals, and of course, I'm not an artist, so I can't understand too much of how it is, but I assume it's hectic. But I would just want to ask you right away. We talked with Fredrik and the people, Slam Dunk and Chris Archer as well. That the MGP artists, something special about it is that it almost become like a family. All the artists. Do you agree on that?
Yeah, it does. I met several of them. I think actually Fredrik was the first one I started talking to when we were sitting in the chairs, behind the stage, doing the first rehearsals. He looked very nice, so we immediately start talking, and I learned about him. I think, doing music in LA, and we have been to the US, so we had some, common grounds there, and then actually also today I met Mira and the Espeseth. This great creative way to I think her last name is Espeseth, which is a really quite a Norwegian name, but it's written SPC. That's really creative. So yeah, it's all just a bunch of great people and really brilliant artists, I would say.
And you are one of 2 acts this year who are competing with rock. Isn't that correct?
Yes, we are the underdogs, definitely.
Yeah, it's normally the rock people, at least they're saying it themselves, are the underdogs. But Mats, do you agree that it's the underdog? Rock, it should be an MGP, shouldn't it, Mats?
It should, and rock is not the underdog. It's amazing. I'm a huge fan of rock, and it's really good to have like a variation of pop and ballads and rock. And rock suits in MGP really well.
That's good to hear, because you feel. I mean, I think all rock or metal artists feel some kind of resistance. When you enter there, it's like I realized, for example, that. The other artist, the host, said that, yeah, it's a great song. We believe in you. But I got the question, you went out of the semis 10 years ago. What makes you feel like you're going to do better this time? Wow, that was a hard question. But I'm sure it was also a kind of a humorous question. But I think we have some resistance. But I like it. Artist resistance. And I really think it's good with lots of variation. And I'm really into that. So why not?
And I agree, and you shouldn't go back more than 3 years. And it was a rock song who won the whole Eurovision with Måneskin. So it's not impossible to win with a rock song. And you also, you have Lodi who have won Eurovision. But I would
now,
say
now I'm also the person that got his picture on the front page of a newspaper yesterday. Said that we don't want this song in MGP. So from Nettavisen, that was my face. They said this song we don't want. So I was quite harsh, but sometimes it's good to have some buzz also. So I don't mind. I've been doing this with Goth Minister for 25 years. But if I was a young artist, it would be quite rough, I think, to get this slammed at you. So this type of journalism, I think, is not so good, to be really, really rude, because I think we all should be kind of, say our meaning, but it's good to be some kind of nice to each other, right? And I also saw that last year there was from the MGP General went out to the media to ask them not to be like really rude to the artists, because there were some artists who got really really kind of rude reviews, and I think it's the way they kind of present it. And I think that's also has been a discussion. So I mean, for me, I'm an old guy. I'm 49, played 500 shows. I mean, the minute after I got a top review from Germany saying a metal legend, so I'm not getting hurt by this, but I'm thinking about the young ones. I'm thinking that we should be careful because there's so many young talented artists, and those should not kind of be subject to that kind of journalism, I think, in my opinion. So
but that is the backside of being part of the MGP and the backside of the media, because I've worked as a journalist myself and I study journalism, so I know that the media, all they want is click. They want people to read the articles, so they will do everything to get people to read it. So
and sometimes they say, I'm going to quit as a journalist if this song wins. I think that's also something they said about Lordi. I think I remember actually the commentary from Norway said that if Lordi wins, I'm going to quit my job and I'm never coming back.
But did he quit his job though?
No.
Do you know?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
No. But even
can I, Patrick?
Yeah.
I'm also a journalist, and we were always taught like there are the 3 Ks. It's like krig, krise, conflict, and the journalists, they love a conflict and they love a good conflict, but it's not good for the person who is like having shit directed towards them or like getting, I don't know, targeted by the press.
I mean, for Gottmils, it was great. I mean, in my opinion, character 1 or 6 is the 2 best characters, because when we got the bad review, all the fans said, no, I don't agree, and it get a lot of buzz and a lot of support, so it's great. I mean, but I understand the controversy, and it's needed, I think, but you just it's the way it is, and I respect it. In the end,
it is the
I
way
accept
it is.
I mean,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but even though Nettavisen says that this cannot be in MGP, some other people think it should be in MGP, because you see here, this one, Øyvind Hanstad, goth minister all the way. You have Peder Danielsen, I am liking goth minister. We have here as well again, Øyvind, goth minister all the way, Lordi won in 2006, so it's possible. Helene Christine Røsse, I'm a metal fan, and we definitely need rock and metal in Eurovision. And she says as well here, Eurovision is for everyone, and Norway is known for metal, so it's time we send that kind of music. So you have fans out there, you do. But there's something really important we need to talk with you about, because on the day of the artist reveal, you said something happening on the 12th of January, which is tomorrow. And I will pick a question up here. Marie, who said, okay, we know there's a twist in Goth Minister's performance, and there's a lot of 90s throwbacks around. Question is, surprise twist, isn't you turning into Barbie Minister, right?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna unfortunately destroy that dream. That's not gonna happen. I mean, the furthest I will go is to have this loose cuffed gothic, which is my new image now. You see that because we were on rehearsal, so I didn't manage to remove all the makeup, and I have this loose kofte, which is a traditional Norwegian sweater. I like to wear it because it's warm. It's nothing like, but it fits well. But no, it's something else. But it will be revealed at midnight, and I already gave some teasers that you might not heard the final version of the song. Actually, that's going to be performed on television. And I said maybe too much, but there is a little twist. And if you, not that I kind of only like promote Spotify, but it's kind of one of the easiest, but on Spotify or then Apple Music or wherever you like to play music, I think it's available after midnight, so you can actually have a listen.
But you've done something pretty smart here, because when you said it, people started speculating. And for example, intern here in Eurovision Norway, we were like, okay, what's going to happen? We know you are working with someone who is working with Alan Walker. Does this mean that Alan Walker is going to produce like a remix for you? Are you just going to be like the party minister, or what is going to happen? But Rosie, do you have any idea of what the twist of Gottmini's song is?
Oh, that's a hard question. I'm always scared of getting things wrong, so I'm scared of guessing, honestly. And I find it really hard to think up something.
It's fair. It's fair. Ben, do you have any idea, or what do you want the twist to be?
Well, the difference between having a song you would submit to a national final to a song you would perform in a national final is making sure that the number has moments that change in dynamics, add crescendo at the right points, lock the interest of the viewers. Gothminister is an act that is as much visual as it is of the music. And what I would be expecting from a different kind of version that we will be hearing for Melodi Grand Prix is something in the music that is linked to something we see on the stage. And it's that little bit of chemistry that's going to be really key, I think, for Gothminister here. And if I go really analytical and critique their previous entry, that lacked those kind of dynamics to go make it into a really, really big moment. So if there's a nuance here to go down that route, that could be a good one for Saturday night.
Can you confirm or deny anything about what Ben said here, Gothminister, or?
My mouth is sealed. No, I can't. But I get what you say, and it's a good point. I mean, Gothminister is kind of much more about, is more than music. I mean, to me, the character, which he was born 1999, when, of course, I've done so many interviews, and after a while you start thinking what really started it. It was I was very creative when I was a little child. I was doing comic books and writing horror novels from since the age of 7 or 8. I was on television. My mother kind of pushed that, of course, because she was proud, and started early. And then for the comic heroes, it wasn't Superman, it was Batman who was my favorite. And I think Batman is much cooler than Superman because you can actually believe in Batman. He's not like, he can't fly, and all that. He doesn't have superpower, but he's smart, and he has this, and also fighting for the weak ones, and being a businessman at daytime, Batman at nighttime, and solidify myself as a lawyer at daytime, and then Gothminister at night. It was quite similar, and it must come something from that direction. And Gothminister has through the years actually been a spokesperson for those who are different, basically, for those who struggle. And I was mocked in school myself. My best friend turned against me, turned the whole class against me. So I know how it is to kind of be different and to basically be mocked. It's very hard, and it's a cliche. But then on the first, that wasn't with Gothminister, was an old band, or the first band we had, a metal band, was a vocalist on the stage, was standing on the stage, and I could see my earlier friend standing in the audience, and he had been so nasty to me, and now I was standing on stage. Everyone was looking at us. We played a lot of Metallica cover songs. We have a couple of own songs, and I was 15 years old, standing there. It was packed. It was like a small club, this fritidsclub. I don't know what it's called in English, but with lots of activities and stuff like that. It started like this, so I really know how that feels, and we have a lot of fans who actually, it sounds maybe strange, but say your music saved my life. We have these kind of comments because It's always been about, the fight and the struggle to believe in yourself, not being scared of being different, and basically just try to stand together and respect others, because I think one of the most important tasks we have in life is in social surroundings and everywhere is the ability to make everyone comfortable in our company. This is one of the highest values of mankind, in my opinion. This is being nice, but also make people feel comfortable and also respect. But this is some kind of the key, and this is also why I said that on stage I can be goth minister, I can do whatever I want, but the minute I walk off stage, I'm more turning into Björn, because it's not comfortable. It's not nice to have like guy coming towards you like that, and of course you can have fun with it, but I think there's a different important difference between being on stage and meeting people not or off stage, and this is what I choose. I mean, artists can choose different approaches, but for me this works better, and I can easier connect with people, and yeah.
No, but it's a great message you come with here, and I think like the stage of MGP is the best stage to promote these kind of messages, these kind of values, because that's what Eurovision and MGP is all about. It's about spreading love, making people feel included, and just celebrate diversity and love. So it's the perfect stage for this message. Robin, what do you hope to see of the staging from Goth Minister on Saturday? I think you need to unmute yourself.
Sorry, no, I was saying I love rock music. Let's not put that away, because I think our country like Norway should represent what they are known for, and metal and rock used to be like very big here, so I absolutely think that's needed. And I can't actually like get in my mind what I think his God Minister staging is going to be like, but I hope for something epic, and I always like pyro, so yeah, something like that.
I love pyro as well, so the more pyro, the better. Is it's my mantra from Eurovision for Eurovision actually. The more pyro, the better. So, but well, I'm gonna have one more question for you, Gatmis, because before we're gonna let you continue with whatever you're doing this evening. But on the artist reveal, I said it before you came in here when I presented you. You had a smoke machine on you. But everything didn't go as planned. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah. Well, I actually used this smoke machine in MGP 2013. And it was great because there's a small smoke machine attached to a belt. So I had everything, prepared, and I had pipes into my jacket. So I had the gloves, and I could have a remote control inside my gloves. It's not powerful enough to make an impression actually or on stage, but it's great for interview situations. So when we then had interviews with some of the most commercial medias in the lobby of NRK, I could sit like this, and back then I had a suit with lots of holes in it because I was like a zombie style. So I was sitting there, and imagine you sit in normal light inside the lobby by a table, and you interview an artist, and suddenly start smoking, and the smoke looks like it comes from inside the body. So the journalists jump back and say, "Whoa, what's that?" So I think I want to use that again, and it was like this. They sent us a link from last year's presentation, because I haven't I didn't pay too much attention last year how they did this presentation. I mean, I love to watch the show, but it's not always you catch the the press conference or all that busy days and all that. So I watched it and I said, "Oh, this looks really bad." I mean, for me, I mean, for the beautiful girls, the beautiful guys, it's nice, but for a guy who wears black and white makeup, who look like a clown in TV lights, and I thought, oh my god, no, what can I do? And so I brought up the old smoke machine, but it's not working anymore. So I spent a lot of money, stupid enough, to try to fix it, and it worked, and then it didn't work. So I thought I have to buy a new one, but it's really expensive. So there was a place selling a new one to a reasonable price, but even cheaper price, they just sold the used one. So I thought, okay, I save a little bit of money on that, and I buy the used one because it was supposed to just be used a couple of times, and I tested a little bit, but there was something strange about it. But I didn't have any choice, so I brought it to the studio, and the minute you put the battery in, it starts smoking. So it was lots of stress, but finally I got the battery in, and remote control ready, and we went in, and I started it, and it wouldn't stop. So it's great when I went to the cameras, but when I was supposed to do the interview, there was so much smoke. So one of the hosts said, "Are you still there?" And they were coughing, and just it was like a disaster. So the whole place just was filled with smoke, and somebody from the side had to kind of come and try to take it off, and it was difficult to take it off. So I said, "I'm sorry, I have to leave just for a second because of health and safety," I said to the cameras. It was just like, and after that I thought, oh no, I totally made a fool of myself. It was so like a disaster. But I think actually this is what people were talking about. So art by accident.
I can confirm it. I was there, and I said I was like, when the smoke was coming, I was like, oh, what's happening now? Is this part of the show or what's happening? And then you said, okay, I need to leave now for health and safety for everyone. It was fun, and it was something different. So even though it was not planned, it turned out to be pretty awesome. And as you said, that's what people was talking about. So it worked out great in the end.
It was worse when we were in Germany one of the first times on a huge festival. It was or for us it was huge. It was 13,000 people inside, and we weren't allowed to use our Norwegian pyrotechnician, which we think was safe. So we had to use a German pyrotechnician, and he mounted some heavy stuff. So when the pyro went off, it lifted, and there was a ball of flames towards me. So I was burning. My clothes were burning. So I was standing like this. This was not safe at all. And one of our bandmates had to jump to the side to avoid another flame ball, and broke 3 ribs on the monitor. So that's unsafe pyro for you. But yeah, that's something. It wasn't that unsafe with the smoke, but it was a bit,
yeah. It ended good. That's the most important part. It ended good.
Yeah.
But Gothmeister, it was a pleasure having you here, and thanks a lot for joining us this evening. And we wish you the best for Saturday, and I think I'm not only speaking for myself, but really looking forward to hearing what this twist in the song is. So I'm going to stay up to midnight to listen to what the twist is.
Thank you so much. Again, and also thank you so much for the great work you're doing, because it's really important what you're doing. And I'm really happy to be back, because it was now 11 years ago, and I can see also that we meet some of the same people, and we remember you, and it's a whole big family. So thank you everyone for what you're doing. It's great, and it's really important. So thank you, and take care.
Thanks you for the really good words, and just relax and get ready for the last rehearsals tomorrow, and then again, best of luck for Saturday.
Let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun. No.
Take care.
Okay. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. So then it's only us left, and now we're gonna talk about some of the other artists as well, and we're gonna talk a little bit about the odds and the Eurovision scoreboard and everything. I need to put my charger in, so while I'm doing that, Rosie, will you tell us who your favorite from the semifinal one is, or which 3 songs do you hope get into the final? Not who you think, but who you hope will get to the final.
Oh gosh, that's a very hard question because I want more than 3 to qualify. So I feel like part of it will come down to live performance. So I find it really hard to choose. I'd say some of my favorites are We Come Alive, Aya, Woman Show, and Oblivion. I can't narrow it down to 3. So yeah, I've just accepted that I'm going to we're going to lose a song that I like. But yeah, don't know what it will be yet. Don't know who's going to qualify yet, so I'm going to be upset either way because we're losing some great acts. But yeah, those are just some of my favourites at the moment, and I'm excited to see the live performances.
No, but I totally agree with you. I think this is the semi-final where it's hardest to say who is going through, because there's so many different songs in the semi-final, and there's so many good songs. In my opinion, at least, it's good songs. So I really don't know who is going through to the final either. Ben, what do you think?
I'm reminded in this heat by another MGP, the one from 2022, and the first heat of that show there, where there was a bit of hype for some of the different entries. We had Trollfest taking part, Mira Craig taking part, but ultimately, the actual winner there was Frode with Black Flowers, and it wasn't the song hyped beforehand, but he came up, did an absolutely stellar vocal, and the way it works in MGP with the kind of 1 person, 1 vote, 3 voting system, didn't need to be a big backstory. There was enough people watching who went, that guy can sing, he gets the votes, walked that heat. I feel a bit the same. I don't think we have an MGP winner in this heat. I think the ones that go through will be left behind by those that are in Heat 2 and 3 as we get further on. And I think in terms of qualification, I feel it's a very flat field on paper, and it's got to come down to the performance.
That is true. And of course, a song can go from this to this after performance, and it can go from this to this after performance. Everything can happen at the live shows. We have Helene back now as well, and I need to ask you the same. Who do you hope are going through to the final from semifinal 1?
From semi-final 1, my favorite is Minister, because I already said I love metal. I like Ingrid Jasmin. I like the sound. I always prefer that Norway sends something typical Norwegian. It's like this folk music. And the third, I think it should be Matilde Espeseth, because I just want to jump out of my chair and sing and dance and have fun. And I'm really looking forward to that performance and seeing that on stage. So that's my favorite now before seeing it on stage. But I'm really excited to see Margaret Berger, and how maybe the song will change for me now that I'm listening to it on Spotify. It doesn't feel like, I don't know, I don't feel like it grabs me, but the sound is good, so maybe on stage she might turn me around. And then you have Fredrik Hallam. He has really beautiful voice, and the song is really, really beautiful as well, but I feel like it's missing something, so I don't think that can win. And Mira is, I don't know, that it's a okay song, but doesn't give me anything. So that's my thoughts on the first semifinals. But my favorite is in the second one.
We will come back to that later. And the fact that you said here we want to send something Norwegian, I will come back to that later when we're talking about the odds. But Robin, we need to ask you the same question. Which three do you hope will get into the final?
To be fair, I don't really have any favorites this semifinal. I mean, they're not equal in genre, but they're equally competitive because I can't pinpoint which three songs are going through. So I'm just gonna go with my guts and say Margaret Berger, just because she's an icon from before, smashed it in Eurovision in 2013. I'm gonna say probably Matilda Espeseth and the two guys, because I think the past years Rysse has really shown characteristics in MGP, not only for being music for the youths, but also in an actual music show. And I do like Goth Minister, but I also find a small dark horse in Stranded, so it's a battle between those two.
It's really close. It is. Yin-Katrine, quickly, which three do you hope will get into the final from semifinal one?
Well, it's definitely from the semifinal, from the first one.
From semifinal one, yeah.
Yeah, well, definitely. Oh, wait. Oh, it's so hard to tell. I've got to be honest. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite semifinal, but oh, it's hard. I'm thinking actually AI is kind of. I don't know. I think Woman Show or AI's those two, and I've got to agree with Robin for the third one. They're kind of equally competitive, and they're so different in genres, so it's hard to say.
And Mats, what about you?
For me, my three favorites, it has to be Goth Mister is one of them. I really like the song. It's amazing. It's catchy. The hook is amazing. And same with the Margaret Berger song. Her hook is repeat on my head. I love it. And the second one, I think it has to... No, the third one, I think it has to go with Eya, Ingrid. Because I think her show on stage could be really good, because I think it is supposed to be like a dance spray thingy, same with Spain had with Chanel Shlomo. So I think she is going to pull one of those moves, and I'm really excited to see what it is on stage.
Nice one. So Ben, I have heard that you have quite good control when it comes to the odds from Eurovision.com, or am I way off here? Or
I am one of the guests on the Bet Eurovision podcast. So we had a discussion about the MGP odds on last night's show, and I see there are hot odds now released today on who's going to qualify as well for the heat. Of course, 3 will go through from the 6.
So do you use Eurovisionworld.com when you are searching the odds, or do you have other places you go and see? Or I didn't quite catch.
I will go wherever the odds are to have a flutter in the Eurovision Song Contest in different ways. Bet Eurovision World is a fantastic site for sourcing lots of the different odds that are available. But there are some bookmakers out with that selection on there as well, especially depending on where you are. One of the things and quirks with gambling is that you have to register yourself within the country that you're living in. So I living in Eurovision Stockholm, I can't go and gamble on Norse tipping, for example.
No. True. So I actually found the odds here now, and from what you said, who you hope are going through to the final, I can tell you that the three people in the heat 1 who are now highest on the odds. In first, you have Margaret Bergo with 89% chance of qualifying. So a big favorite here. Rosie, do you think it's mostly because of the name, or do you think it's because of the song, or?
Well, I definitely think that name plays into it, but I'd probably predict it to qualify regardless anyway. So I'd say even without that name, I think it would be very likely to qualify at least. But I think that the percentage of the qualifying chance is elevated by the name.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then following in second place, and with 69% chance of qualifying, I would say I find it quite surprising, because not too many people are talking about this artist. Some of the people here have mentioned her as one of the favorites, but it's Ingrid Jasmin, who are in second place at the odds with 69%. Ben, are you surprised with that, or?
Ingrid actually started much shorter odds earlier on the day. I was seeing 1.15 as a traded price. So there's been much more money over the day that's been put onto Gothminister in particular, which has caused the price here to drift slightly. I would agree with that from what the market's perception is. I think Aya is definitely the kind of thing that sounds made to try and be Eurovision, but actually it's probably more likely to be a theoretical rather than a practical one. There's a very interesting instrumental dance break we suspect in the middle of this. I fear this could be a little bit too passive. You need with a dance number to actually come out and command, and actually the production of this is a little bit passive. And I think certainly when the odds opened today, there was value in backing the other songs. If there was a market out there to bet against this qualified in the start of the day, I would have taken that in a heartbeat. Who it will be out with that, I'm not entirely sure, but this price here has been way too short. I think it probably is a bit too short to qualify, actually.
Yeah, interesting. And then the last one in third place here with 63% chance of qualifying, it's Gothminister. So those three are, according to the odds, the favorites for qualifying to the final. And we will quickly talk about the odds for the final as well, and we will end it up afterwards with talking about the Eurovision scoreboard. But on the odds of winning the whole of MGP, it has changed a little bit over the days, which is normal because we are at the very start of MGP. But I think we will do it in reverse order and start with the third. We will do top three, but we will start with the third place. And third place is Gåte with Ulvehamn with 17% chance of qualifying. And Mats, could you see Gåte represent Norway at Eurovision?
For sure. I think Gåte is maybe the best pick we have because it is really Norwegian. I don't know if they are singing in Norrønt. I think so. But this song, like, it spreads the Norwegian theme and Norway, and it's unique. And I've heard that their live show is fantastic. So I think they are made for Eurovision. So I'm for sure pretty sure that this is going to represent us this year.
And Robin, you are handling our Twitter or X account of Eurovision Norway. What are people out in Europe saying about Gåte?
I mean, people are always buzzed for having non-English music like Norwegian, but in this case it's more also Norse, which is quite fantastic. It seems like people are buzzed, lots of different opinions all the time on the different songs, but I might as well agree with Mats. I also think this song will be ending up representing Norway. Not because of the name, but just because it's so different. And if it's 1 year, we should send something quite unique. It should be Gåte.
Great to hear. I will quickly take up a comment here from Jean-Philippe Annan. Hello, I'm French. Then I should say bonjour. My favorites is Kaino and Margaret Bergo. And the fact that he says here, because second place at the odds is Kaino with 23% chance of qualifying. And Yin Katrine, do you think we will get Dam Digida in Eurovision 2024?
It would definitely be a good choice because they've got such a great level of professionalism, and the sound and the quality of the production is it's just great. So I would definitely say that if Kaino went all the way through, I would be thrilled.
Helene, would you be thrilled with Dam Digida in Eurovision?
I love Kaino. I loved Spirit in the Sky. I loved Monument. I loved the new song they had, Insomnia. But Dam Digida, I'm a little disappointed, to be honest, because I wanted them to come with something more like with the yoik and more Norwegian style, and I want them to win with the best song they have. And this is the least favorite of mine. So I hope that they come back another year with another song. And so I hope that Gåte will win this year and kind of come back with something amazing. Because they are professional, they are amazing on stage, they have amazing vocals, and I love them, but not this song. Sorry.
You're so strict.
And the fact that you said here, the fact that they don't have the yoik in the song this year, but Fred has actually gone back to his roots with the more kind of rapping style. Rosie, were you surprised that it was no yoik in this song?
Surprised? I'm not sure. Really.
But was this the kind of Kaino you heard before?
Yes, like I recognize that it is them. But I would say that it's their weakest MGP attempt so far. I much preferred Monuments. That's one of my favorites of their songs, and like I have like the signed album and all of that. So yeah, I've been following their music. But I agree with Helene. Like I kind of wish they came back with something stronger. So yeah. Whether surprise, I'm not sure whether I'd put that word on it. But yeah, I wish there was more yoik, and I wish that there was kind of more of that vibe.
I will agree with you there because the yoik is kind of their trademark. With Fred, who is yoiking in parts of the song, so I was a little bit disappointed as well when I saw it's no yoik. But they are second in the odds, so there are a huge chance that we would see them in Eurovision. But the artists who are actually leading the odds now with just 1% more chance of winning with 24%, it's Super Rob and Erika Norwich with My AI. And Ben, the song My AI, a song about artificial it said stop in my mind now. Help me, Ben.
Artificial intelligence. It's not that deep actually. It's a songwriting camp throwaway bit of fun, this one, and it is cheese-tastic brilliance, I have to say. You know what? I was watching the reveal of the artist for MGP, and I squealed when this was announced, because it's not just the fact that Super Rob exists. Oh my God, he is real. But Super Rob and the character of it and the presentation of our 10-foot tall giant pink robot is genius. And every boy and every girl and all their parents are gonna be voting for this one. Where it's enough to go over the line, and it is 40% international juries in the final of MGP. But no, it's a weird one to say this, but your two favorites are competing in the same aqua genre of pop. And it's very interesting. I feel there's a little bit with Kaino for all of us. We're in a Eurovision community, all of us here right now. And what's interesting with Kaino is there's no group that exists on the planet, I'd argue, that are more representative of Eurovision fans and exist because of Eurovision fans than Kaino. And in that way, we put a lot of weight on the kind of art that they do. And I think for all of us, we kind of see them as sort of really, really high power. And when they come out and Damn the Guitar, it is trying to be catchy more than it is trying to tell a serious story. And I think for us who have that kind of feeling and emotion, we react a little bit with that. With Super Rob, I think the kids of Norway are just going to see the coolest thing. We need to have little action figures and sell them. They'll be flying like hotcakes in 3 weeks' time.
I think you are absolutely correct there, and it already are starting to going viral on TikTok because Super Rob has gotten his own TikTok account, his own Instagram account, and people are loving it. And they have Norwegian influencers joining him on TikTok videos, and yeah, people love it. But again, they are relying on a really good show, because if they had a show where Rob is just standing in the background and doing this, I would not have voted for them because it would be boring. But if the rumors are true about who is inside of Super Rob, we know they can make a good show. But again, should we just say the rumor? Should I just say what the rumors are? Or should I just see them out? I'm not sure now. Ben?
I mean, the discussion is, of course, about it being Gorte, who was part of Subwoofer that we're aware of 2 years ago. And it doesn't matter if the rumor is true or not, especially in Norway, because Subwoofer were a reasonable success in the Eurovision scoreboard and were a success beyond the actual Eurovision performance after that. It gives credibility regardless of who is in the costume. I would agree. There's an issue with a 10-foot tall pink robot that it might not be able to dance so good on stage. If they can master that, you do have something here that works and will probably get a similar result to Subwoofer in the Eurovision Song Contest. It is worth saying here, we've been discussing odds for the last 15 minutes or so. Norway's price has drifted on the betting markets. They're about 30 to 1 you can get on Norway now in the exchanges. We're not looking here at Eurovision winners. I think your ceiling here would be middle of the top 10 for a Norwegian selection in the Eurovision Song Contest. The only caveat to that is we know that the Norwegian delegation has been asking other delegations to consider the 50-50 split of jury and televote and wanting a more televote heavy competition. The songs at the top of the charts for Norway are definitely televote rather than jury favorites.
No, but that's a fact, and you have seen it the last few years. Norway have, I would not say dominating the televotes, but they have done really, really good on the televotes. We have Alessandra, who came third in the televotes. You had Kaino, who smashed the televotes. Subwoofer did really great at televotes. But that's a problem. We have, especially, let's say Subwoofer. It was a really fun show, but we knew that we would not come top 5, top 3, win, because this is not a song for the juries. And that is the problem with my AI as well if we want to win the show, because the jury are not gonna give it a lot of money. You saw it with Karja the last year in Eurovision. The jury didn't like it, even though he smashed everybody off stage on the televotes, but it wasn't enough because the jury didn't want it. But we are running out of time, but I want us to go into one last topic here, and it is the Eurovision scoreboard. It's an app. I don't know if you guys use it. I use it myself. It's where you can put out the 12, 10, 8, 7, 6, 5 points to the songs in MGP and Eurovision. I have done it myself. Then I went into the community on this app and saw what people, all app users, have voted for in Norway. And we're going to say the top 3 here as well. Or I will say first place in the community is Kaino, which we already have discussed. And it's a televote favorite who is on the top for the fans. It's no shock for me. We have in second place Margaret Berger. Again, maybe because of the name, but it's also a good song. Will she do as good as in 2013? I don't think so, but I don't know. But then a really interesting one, I would say, in third place on the Eurovision scoreboard app is Milio. That surprised me a little. Helen, are you surprised of Milio in third place on the scoreboard app?
Actually not. I think it's really catchy, it's really cool, and it's one of the songs that when we had the first listening session at NRK that got my attention. So I'm not really surprised at all. I think it's a really cool song, and I know also many people like it outside of Norway. So I think it has chances.
And if we should be a little bit funny, I know we will get 12 points from Australia because he's half Australian, so at least we will get 112. So can't be better than that. Mats, are you surprised, or did you expect Milio to be top 3 on the community on the Eurovision scoreboard app?
I actually didn't expect it, and I'm surprised. But to be honest, it is a really good song. And I don't know if enough people have seen him in person yet, but he's a really lovely guy. And he's charismatic, and I think he's going to win on that. And his song is really catchy. And I like him. So it is, it is exciting.
Rosie, what are the feelings out in the UK and Europe from what you have heard about Milio? It must be kind of good since he's actually in third place.
Yeah. Some of my friends are obsessed with that song. They absolutely love it. So I already knew it's going to be a popular one. So yeah, my friends, like, who are mostly outside of Norway, yeah, they absolutely love it. So I'm not surprised at all that he's in the top 3 on the Eurovision scoreboard.
Could you see it go all the way and win MGP?
I wouldn't count it out. I think in my
kind
head,
of a dark horse?
Yeah, I think in my head, I kind of think the obvious winner is my AI, but we have to remember there's a jury. So I think it does actually have more of a chance than people really think it does. Because like those of my friends love Your Mind, and they have it as like one of their favorites. So I think it does actually have a chance.
But it doesn't necessarily every year have to be the favorite who wins. Let's take an example of one iconic MGP artist, Jahn Teigen, who he have represented Norway a lot of times. But when he actually was competing MGP with, I would say, his best song ever, Optimist, he didn't even get to the last 4. So everything can happen in MGP. We know that. And also in 2020, one of the favorites, now Rein Alexander, he went out. So everything can happen. And Yin Katrine, do you agree everything can happen? Could Milio go all the way?
Definitely. It might go all the way.
Great. So we are again reaching to the end. But I would say thank you so much to Ben and Rosie for joining in today. It has been really fun. And I hope you people watching at home also have liked this kind of new concept with a talk show. Really hope so. And before Ben and Rosie are leaving us, I want Ben to tell us who are going to represent Norway in Eurovision 2024.
I do think Super Rob should be the bookie's favourite. But I am going to actually, we've just mentioned a dark horse there, Emilio. I'm going to throw another dark horse into the pack here that's been very underrated by the odds. Because I do think this is an open field. I think the song Mer, Vida Villa, is one that can really, really come through the rails. It's a bit Melfest coded, so maybe there's a bit of Stockholm bias in this. But he's a popular enough artist. He was in the top 3 in the Spotify charts when the song was released on that first day. This, I think, with some nice, effective gold lighting, could just shine. Give him a guitar, give him a band, and just sing it down the camera. There's a little redemption story for him as well coming through. This has... It's a weird comparison here. It's got a bit of the cake to bake about it. It's got a bit of, hold on, all the audience have started clapping along to this. What's going on? Why do we like this all of a sudden? There's a feel-good factor to this. It reminds me, from an MGP perspective, also of North Kids Rise, where they nearly took Subwoofer all the way through. Watch out for this one coming from nowhere.
It's fun that you say that. I love this song, and I said it when he came out and I heard the song. I said, wow, this year's summer song came already in January. But the fun part is as well, he competed in 2018, and he's gone now from, in 2018, he sang about wanting to sleep with his mom, with his friend's mom. And now you are raising him as one of the dark horses to win MGP. It's everything can happen in MGP.
It's a great thing for a journalist, that, because it means you've got a redemption arc story from being a bit of a zero to being a bit of a hero. And in that aspect, he's got a very cool haircut now, which he didn't have a few years ago. People love a narrative. Super Rob gives you the very obvious 10-foot tall narrative. We love... Eurovision is different than music. People who vote, they vote for the character that they want to represent them. And that's a very different thing. It can be a great vocal that does that. It can be an important lyric. It can be just having a great pop song. But there's a nuance there, and I don't think you've got a stellar MGP. You don't have a 10 out of 10, really obvious one this year. So it's going to be that kind of character art that's key. I could be talking absolute nonsense here right now.
No,
but I think that in the odds is way off kilter for me.
No, but I think you have a great point there, because I'm going to take and draw the lines back to Karja once again. And nobody understood anything of what he sang about. Nobody understood anything. But still, they learned the whole song and sang with him when he sang, and they were dancing with him on the dance. He ended up almost winning the whole group. You see Ben is singing and dancing the song now, so everything can happen. Vida Villa could win MGP. Of course, everybody can win. Rosie, I want you as well to say, I think I'm going to do now what Ben did. I want you to say who you think is going to win, and then give us one dark horse. And you're not allowed to say Vida Villa.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think my AI is going to win. Dark horse. Ooh. Dark horse. Yeah, I'm going to go with Milo. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a fair one. It's a fair one. We're not going to go through everyone here from Eurovision Norway, because you are going to see us again on this stream later, because this is going to be a weekly thing, we hope, as long as the audience like this. I see at least Øyvind Hansa is saying this was great. I hope for God Minister. Thank you so much, Øyvind. Appreciate those good words. But I will still be a little bit biased and also say a dark horse, even though it's not that big of a dark horse. But when she was revealed competing, I was not thinking about her as a winner. But I'm going to say Mia as a dark horse to win. and she's doing well amongst the fans. And on Eurovision scoreboard, she's in 4th place, not far behind Miley. So it could happen. But for now, thank you to Robin, thank you to Mats, thank you to Yin Katrine, thank you Ben, thank you to Rosie, and thank you to Helene. It has been a pleasure talking Eurovision with you tonight. And I assume all of you are going to watch the semifinal one. And if you're able to vote, I hope you will vote. I'm going to do it. You can't vote too much though, Ben, because you only have 1 vote this year. So you have to think wise.
I'm so used to Melfest, you know.
But again, thank you guys for joining in. David, Philpott, great show. Thank you, David. But for now, have a great evening, and we'll see you guys later. Bye.